2022, M.L. Carter, representative, agent of M.L. Carter Trust Co., Unincorporated Business Trust, Evolve Brand, author and writer, content creator, artist, Creep Carter, representative of one of these social constructs and these fictitious constructs of UCC. I, the human being, flesh and blood, sovereign, secured part in M.L.CARTER, represent as custodian in trust these corporations. Fictitious they are in the UCC commercial construct. Well, sovereign by nature, by the will of God, you they wise, and hallelujah. I am, once again, administering the narrative of 10-step study guide on how to survive once you are outside of prison. It is a concise book that I composed, and now I'm narrating to give a concise, brief overview of the details to actually initiate survival outside of prison. And I can do this impromptu off the cuff because I am also an ex-con, an ex-felon, an ex-inmate, whatever you so have, or whatever you shall call it. We all make mistakes, that is a fact. And we all have some way in some form committed sin or acts of crime, criminal activity against the power or powers that be in one way or another or some way or form. So we all make mistakes. We just have to learn from our mistakes to do better, so that we don't make the same mistakes over and over again. So me learning from mine, I have been successful for 7 years. I did 7 years, and I've been out of prison for 7 years. So approximately 7 years in total I did, and approximately 7 years in all that I've been out free, surviving, building wealth, being a custodian of real estate property, personal, private property, and utilizing the information I've gathered from outside and inside of the institutions in chain gang. So, yeah, I got my babies. He's always running out with his little gadget. Think he a superhero. Yeah, caught me off guard. But that was about the babies. So, make a long story short, this is real. Everything is real. As you can see, I got my babies in the background. My son, got King Carter. One of the lineage that will be able to, receive these benefits from me building these advantages for him for the future of wealth growth and his establishment of living in a society in which I have no idea what it's going to be like, 30, 40 years from now. Make a long story short, this is my initiative or initial beginning to administer the narrative of this book, 10-step study guide on how to survive once you're outside of prison. So, I hope you will lend me an ear for those who have, had the unfortunate, privilege of being in the chain gang, being incarcerated. See, I carry that number 7 around with me everywhere. It means so much to me, not just for being incarcerated, but it's so many, spiritual connections, physical connections. There's so many when it comes to number 7. It's your boy, 7th heaven that, the Most High dwell on, just my daughter was born on October 7, and just so many, I caught 7 years into the chain gang. Number 7 just follows me, man. I can't even lie, man. And I've been out of prison 7 years, so that number, it's time. It's my number. But on another note, this is 10-step study guide on how to survive, and this is real. Everything, the content is real. It deals with real situations. It deals with my own personal experiences as well. on how I have been surviving outside of prison. Tap in. I hope you like what you hear. I hope you take time out of your valued time to give it ear and pay attention. It's beautiful, man. Just being able to share information and give people, something from me to them. You don't always have to be, physical things that help people. It can be mental, spiritual. You know what I mean? It's so many things that we can do to help each other, and it ain't just about color, but I am also uplifting, my so-called people that are black, you know what I mean, and the name and titles in which have been given to us by, the overseers of the United States and Britain and all these different places. So make a long story short, the indigenous people, we love who we are. The Aboriginal people, we know who they are. You know what I mean? It's just being truthful, and through this podcast and through my 10 Steps to the Guy How to Survive, I will touch base on diverse things. I am called a diversity, you know what I mean? So shout out to Chop 'em Down Entertainment. Also, you will be hearing music probably played in the background from, the artist and the institution of my, label and production team. Chop 'em Down, Creek Carter, Mickey L. Carter, Sean Cosby, DJ Skinner, Skull Ball, Thirsty Boys, you know what I mean, Craigfield College, you're going to hear all type of things, you know what I mean, and it's love to all that, it's love for all of that. It's just us expressing ourselves through music and hip-hop, rap, the things that we love, art, creativity, content creation. So I'm going to try my best to give you my all in these, 10 steps of narrated, readings that I have actually compiled and composed in a little concise, small book. Like I say, I'm imprompting this. So the truth of the matter is, I'd rather be truthful and give you the truth from me to you. It wasn't easy, you know what I mean? The journey hasn't been easy. It was unfortunate, unprecedented things that always happened and came about that I had to figure out how to overcome and continue on through my journey. And I just, I found myself never giving up because I'm one of those spirits that never quit. I don't know how to give up because it's not in my blood, it's not in my body, it's not in my mind about quitting. It's not in my mind to, stand still and not do anything when it's time to do something. It's a moment to do everything. It's a moment to listen and meditate, to be still so that the mind and spirit can connect. But it's also the time to act off the things you do know, and sometimes off the cuff. Like right now, improv, off the cuff, just going off the mind to give you the mental capacity of this 10 steps study guide on how to survive outside of prison. So I'm an individual, an ex-con, ex-felon, ex-inmate who has done, a number of calendars inside the institution at one time. Not multiple times collected together, but at one time, 7-year sentence. So that's a long time. My daughter was 4 years old when I left. When I got out, my daughter was 11. So it's one of those things, man. One of those things. I had to experience all of that. Didn't see my daughter the whole time I was in the chain gang, and all that is heartfelt. I didn't see anybody. They sent me from South Florida all the way up to North Florida, and trust me, family members, it's hard for them already, and it was going to be even harder to try to come 8-9 hours away every weekend. So for those years, I wrote it out on my own. I never gave up. I never cussed my family out. I never cursed my family and said, I don't want to deal with anybody ever again because they couldn't, help me. I found out that me being a leader, I lead. So I cannot expect others to lead when I've been leading them. So that's what the change. That's one of the. I want to say that's one of the scenarios that played out in prison, but that's one of the teachings that I learned upon self-teaching that taught me that as a leader, you can't expect